there, everyone. Good morning. Good morning to you. I just sat on my bed. I opened my laptop. I opened Audacity. And then I said, hello there. Good morning, everyone. Is it like a Christopher Nolan film in this commentary? Or is it just me? It is just me. I'm the only one doing the commentary. How's everyone doing today? I had an idea. Listen, I'm the guy. I'm a guy, actually. I go from game to game to game to game in terms of game. That's how I like to do it. I'm sorry, but I'm actually that guy. I like to play a game through, wrap it up, move on to the next one, play a game. Something about it. I just really enjoy the process. For me, progress is important in a game. And so I just have a lot of fun progressing through a game and then wrapping it up and then progressing through another, wrapping it up, etc, etc. Plus I like the achievements that come along with it too. So Phil and I, it's a video for another day. Phil Spencer and I, we sat down, we devised the Game Pass together. I'm the reason that stuff like that exists. I'm the guy who just switches things up constantly. So of course, as someone who, I like Game Pass, I like the ability to do that. Game subscriptions are very appealing to me, and one of those of course is Ubisoft Plus. It's the new one, and it's on Xbox now. So I've given it a go. I gave it a go last year and I gave it a go I guess this year. It's a whole new year, and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the subscription and whether I think it's worth it for you, because I think it's interesting, this one. It's very expensive. To the uninitiated, if you're on PC, it's only $12.99. But if you're on console, or if you want to be on PC and console, that will be £15 a month, $14.99 a month, which is more than Game Pass. And that's a tough pill to swallow because you get less than you do with Game Pass, which is already like an immediate alarm bell in a lot of people's heads, mine included. It's like you don't typically appreciate something that costs more for less. That's just sort of the way our minds work. And plus with obviously with Game Pass, you get that's bundled in with your online subscription, so that's your edition of PlayStation Plus and stuff like that, and you get streaming, and you don't get streaming with Ubisoft Plus. You still have to download everything. And like I said, the catalogue is far smaller. There are far less genres in here, and a lot less to grab onto. So it's not a great start for this review. But there's a lot of stuff on there, and I am actually quite impressed that they've been putting a lot of day one stuff on there. So the new Avatar game, Something of Pandora, is on there. Assassin's Creed Mirage is on there. The latest The Crew game is on there. They do pretty much have every Ubisoft title in the past few recent years for sure. But there's still a lot missing. There's a lot of stuff on there that I would have liked to have been on there that isn't on there. A lot of the old Splinter Cell games are not on there. And yeah, there's just a lot missing. If you go through how much stuff is on console, you reach the bottom of it actually fairly quickly, which is a bit of an issue. But what is a bigger issue, and my overall feeling towards this subscription, is that I came away from it kind of thinking these games, they're largely very similar, and it's an issue of genre to an extent with Ubisoft, where Ubisoft's approach to game making is to create a world, plop you in a world and give you a bunch of activities, and typically those activities are kind of the same, but yeah, just bundle you up with content, wrap you up in a little blanket of content and things to do, which is fine in an isolated experience, and if that's what you're into, then awesome. When it comes to a game subscription service, once you finish those activities, you're kind of okay, I've wrapped it up, and do I want to do these activities again? And you're basically going from the same activities in one game to the same activities in another game. So you'll go from Far Cry 6, and you've got to take an outpost, and then you're okay, I've taken 50 outposts, and I've wrapped up the game, and I've done all of that, and then you finish it, and you go on to the Avatar game where you're taking outposts, and capturing bases and stuff like that. Again, you're doing that again, and in terms of scale and size, if you were to go from Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is a 100-hour game, doing that, capturing outposts and stealthing your way through and stuff like that, when you're done with it, you kind of don't want to do that anymore. But you're paying £15 a month for the subscription. You're paying a ton of money for the subscription. You want to get the most out of it. You want to move on to the next thing as quickly as possible. So you download I don't know, Far Cry 5. So you download Far Cry 5 and you're doing the same thing in the same sort of structure. And so you go, well, I don't really want to do that, so I'll download Watch Dogs Legion, and you're running around hacking things and capturing outposts. And that's what you're doing in the game. And you're just rinse and repeating the same thing. And it becomes very laborious. It becomes, just too much, just too much Ubisoft. Too much for you to handle, too much Ubisoft going on, and you kind of reach a limitation. You're like, I don't ever want to do this anymore, and that's the issue with Ubisoft Plus. Now, like I said, if I personally speaking, I would recommend it for get it for like a month or two. You can always turn your subscription off. I think £30 for Assassin's Creed Mirage and the new Avatar game, and everything else. The Assassin's Creed Ezio collection, which is actually fantastic, and I had a great time going back through the Crew Motorfest, which is oddly just super fun. Just in order to dip your toes into those and give them a go for a couple of months for 30 quid to play all of the most recent Ubisoft games. I'd say it's kind of worth it, if you're someone who does like power through game after game after game after game. But I certainly wouldn't recommend this as a continuous subscription. You're just not going to get the most out of it. They also don't release enough games for you to get the most out of it anyway, but I think you know that. I would definitely give both of the South Park stick games a go to. They're both fantastic. But yeah, overall, I wouldn't particularly recommend this. I can't recommend this subscription because it's, like I said, it just becomes very laborious and I don't think you want that. But yeah, give it a couple of months, and those are my thoughts on Ubisoft Plus. I guess I'll see everyone later. I hope this was helpful for you.
The PlayStation is only $149, and you can also get leading titles.